ghost ship which is said to haunt the seas around the Cape of Good Hope?
Pandora and the Flying Dutchman.
Well, the Flying Dutchman will do, yes. Andy, history of the 15th century. The House of Lancaster, the House of York. Which dynasty came next?
Plantagenet.
The Tudors. Paul, please. What is the official residence of the President of France?
Elysee Palace.
It is. Dick, please. Proverbs and Shakespeare. Discretion is the better part of valour, or as Shakespeare wrote it, the better part of valour is discretion. Which play does it come from?
Twelfth Night.
Henry IV, Part 1. Colin, birds. Razorbills, puffins and guillemots are members of which family of marine diving birds?
Gulls.
The auk family. And Mark, on the gravestone of a man hanged and buried at York in 1739 is the inscription, John Palmer, otherwise who?
Dick Turpin.
Indeed. And John, in July, a new theme park opened in Japan. It is the first one in the world to be dedicated to a character created by a British clergyman. Which character?
Thomas the Tank Engine.
Jennifer, science and chemistry. Which chemical element has the symbol K?
Magnesium. No idea.
Potassium. Five down, 10 to go. Philip?
And they are Bill Webley, David Harcombe, Derek Archer, Andy Catt and Colin Page. And of the remaining 10 contestants, only one still has her 3 lives intact.
Hazel, we start round 2 with direct flights between the USA and which Caribbean country were finally resumed on July the 15th of this year after a break of 2 years?
Grenada.
Cuba. David, please. Television. Teleaddicts. Tomorrow's World. Points of View. Which night of the week on BBC One?
Wednesday.
A number, David?
Number 7.
Rodney. Religion. The world of Islam. What name is given to the leader of the prayers in a mosque?
Imam.
Yes. Imam. A number, please, Rodney?
3.
Weekly magazines, Jerry. Gardening with Alan Titchmarsh. Health with Dr. Mark Porter. Music with Brian Kay. And Sport with Jonathan Agnew. Which weekly magazine?
Radio Times.
A number, please, Jerry?
11.
And Dick, please. A counting system using the quinary scale means counting in what? Counting in fives. Again, please, Jerry.
14.
Sport, golf. John? The name, please, of the 17-year-old British amateur who finished in joint 4th place in the Open in July.
Is it Parks?
Justin Rose. Again, please, Jerry.
7.
The peerage, Rodney. The address of which peer of the realm is Longleat, Warminster, Wiltshire?
Marquess of Bath.
Yes. Alexander George Thynne, I think his name is. A number, please.
13.
This is Shakespeare, Mark. In which Shakespeare play had the eponymous hero been a student at Wittenberg University?
Hamlet.
A number, please, Mark.
Number 2, please.
David, medicine. Myopia is the technical name for what?
Short-sightedness.
A number, David.
Number 1.
And Hazel, the NACAB, or NACAB as it's called, is the National Association of what? It's the National Association of Citizens Advice Bureau. Again, please, David.
Number 8.
Sports sponsorship, Tony. Which insurance company sponsored the Test match series between England and South Africa this summer?
Cornhill.
A number, please.
15.
The United Nations, Jennifer. In which European city does the International Court of Justice sit?
Strasbourg?
The Hague. Again, please.
Number 13.
British history, Mark. Who was on the English throne at the time of the Battle of Trafalgar and the Battle of Waterloo?
George the 4th.
George III. Again, please, Tony.
Number 2.
The weather, David. What name is given to the hot period between early June and mid-August when Sirius rises and sets with the sun?
Sorry.
The dog days, Sirius being the dog star. Again, please, Tony.
Number 7.
What term is used to describe peers who have been given life peerages on the understanding that they will attend and play an active part in the House of Lords on a regular basis?
No, don't know.
They're called working peers. Tony?
Number 10.
And Shakespeare again. Quite a cerebral programme, this, Paul. He dies in his bed, babbling of green fields, and his death is described by Mistress Quickly in Henry V. Which famous Shakespearean character?
I don't know.
Falstaff. Again, please.
Number 11.
And Dick, US presidents. 2 US presidents are buried in the same churchyard in Quincy, Massachusetts. They were father and son. What was their surname?
Roosevelt.
Adams. Again, please, Tony.
Number 3.
Geography. Jerry, to the nearest 1,000 miles, what is the circumference of the Earth at the equator?
60,000 miles,
It's not as big as that.
isn't it?
25,000. Again, please.
Number 1.
And Hazel, Beaulieu Abbey, Rumsey Abbey, and Winchester Cathedral. Which county are they all in?
Hampshire.
And number, please, Hazel.
15.
Jennifer, 2 Roman roads have the same name. One runs from Silchester in Hampshire to Gloucester, the other from London to York via Huntingdon. What is the common name?
Watling Street.
Ermine Street. Again, please, Hazel.
13.
Building. And Mark, in building terminology, for what very important layer do the initials DPC stand?
Damp course.
Well, damp proof course, yes.
Number 8, please.
And Tony, the address of which government public office is rather appropriately Concept House, Cardiff Road, Newport?
Social Security.
The Patent Office. Again, please.
Number 7, please.
And Rodney, a term applied to lakes and seas. What is the aphotic zone? Aphotic zone.
Is it the tidal?
No, it's the deeper parts where light can't penetrate. Again, please.
Number 10, please.
And Paul, during the Boer War of 1899 to 1902, 3 British garrisons were held under siege. 2 of the 3, please. Yeah?
Bloemfontein.
Ladysmith, Mafeking and Kimberley. Mark, please.
Number 2, please.
Literature, David. Who created the character Rip Van Winkle? Washington Irving. Again, please, Mark.
Number 14, please.
In English law, what term is used to refer to the minimum number of people who must be present at a meeting in order for business to be transacted? A quorum. Again, please, Mark.
Number 1, please.
History of the 18th century. In which year did the French Revolution begin? Hazel?
1789.
And number, please.
8.
Media, please. Of which national daily newspaper is Peter Stothard the editor, Tony?
Daily Telegraph.
The Times. Here we are, 12 down, 3 to go, and after the break, Hazel Harrison from Milton Keynes, Jerry Anderson from Bath, and Mark Woodley from Catford in South East London will be here for the final. Do stay and give them your support.
Dare you think the most important component in any car is you? Which is why we do more than just design cars. We make sure every car, even our smallest, comes with a 3-year peace of mind package. A small car designed around you? That'll be the Daewoo Matiz. To celebrate 100,000 new cars on the road, Daewoo are offering 1 year's free insurance on the Matiz. For information, call 0800 666 222.
The 3 surviving contestants in today's 15-to-1 final are Hazel Harrison, a retired teacher from Milton Keynes. Recently retired from supply teaching, her many hobbies include reading, gardening, crosswords and the cinema. She is a member of the Youth Hostels Association and she sings with Opera Milton Keynes. Jerry Anderson, a shop assistant from Bath. She enjoys crosswords and a Catholic taste in reading. She's also keen on the cinema, especially Woody Allen films. And Mark Woodley, a local government officer from Catford in London. He enjoys reading horror and science fiction novels, but his main interest is music. He plays guitar and keyboards, and he also writes music, which he records in his own studio.
Thank you. Welcome back. Hazel, Jerry, Mark, put your fingers on the buzzers and we'll make a start. Remember, first to buzz gets a chance to answer. First of you with 3 correct answers opens the game up, and after that it's question or nominate. Your target, that score of 192 at the top of the finals board, and quite honestly, I think it's got to be a score, something like that, for a place in the grand final. If you're ready, here we go. Business and commerce. What name is given to a syndicate or consortium of producers which regulates prices by restricting output and competition? Hazel?
Cartel.
Cartel it is. The entertainment business. Emily Perry is a 90-year-old actress who's been in a supporting role on stage and television for the past 10 years and, apart from one exception on comic relief, she has yet to utter a single word. How is Emily Perry better known? Hazel?
Madge.
She is Madge Alsop, yes. Dame Edna's bridesmaid and sidekick. On we go. Journalism. The acerbic and controversial critic Brian Sewell writes for the London Evening Standard, mainly on what subject? Jerry?
Art.
Yes, he's good on art, but he's very dodgy on the Elgin marbles, I can tell you. On we go, please. In July, the Moroccan athlete Hisham El Garoug set a new world record time of 3 minutes, 26 seconds at a meeting in Rome. Over which distance? Hazel?
1,500 metres.
Indeed he did. 3 correct answers, Hazel. Question or nominate?
Nominate Jerry.
Quotations from John Milton. They also serve who only the next 3 words, please.
Stand and watch. Stand.
Stand and wait.
Wait.
Hazel, please, again. Question or nominate?
Nominate Mark.
Mark, one of the most famous pieces of amateur film footage went on sale in the USA in July as part of a 45-minute video. It was originally shot by Abraham Zapruder, a Dallas dress salesman nearly 35 years ago. What's the content of it?
That's where Kennedy got shot.
Indeed. The shots are the shots in the car. Question or nominate?
Hazel, please.
Hazel, the Exmoor National Park extends into which 2 counties?
Dartmoor, Somerset. Sorry.
Somerset and Devon. Again, please, Mark.
Jerry, please.
Jerry, landmarks. The race courses of Longchamp and Auteuil are in which famous Paris park?
Versailles.
The Bois de Boulogne. Again, please, Mark.
Hazel, please.
Hazel, what is the name of the strait which links San Francisco Bay with the Pacific Ocean? The Golden Gate, hence the Golden Gate Bridge. Mark, again, please.
Jerry, please.
Jerry, on what line of latitude is the North Pole situated?
0.
90 degrees north. You have to leave us. Mark, question or nominate?
Nominate, please.
The monarchy, Hazel. How many grandchildren of King George VI were born during his lifetime? 2, Prince Charles and Princess Anne. You have to leave us. Well, here we are, Mark. So soon, 11 points you have, 3 lives intact, and there are 29 questions. There's enough ammunition there for a record 15-to-1 score, I think, or a 15-to-1 record score. Are you ready? Yes. Here we go. Science. What term or word describes a frequency of 1 million cycles per second?
Kilohertz.
1 megahertz. Children's literature. The first chapter of which famous children's novel is entitled Down the Rabbit Hole?
Alice in Wonderland.
Indeed, Adventures in Wonderland. Sometimes known by the initials TM. What's the name of the technique of focusing the mind that was introduced to the Western world by Maharishi Yogi and popularised by the Beatles in the late 1960s?
Something method.
No, not method, it's transcendental meditation. This is geography and France. Avignon, Arles and Lyon stand on which major river in France?
Loire.
The River Rhone. Well, there you are, Mark, 21. It may be a low score, but it's a winning score, and that's what matters. But it puts you on the finals board in position number 10. It certainly won't take you to the grand final, but a winning score is a winning score, and it's better to win at football, for example, 1-0 than to lose 4-5. Anyway, there you are. Well done. Thank you. Well, we have a couple of minutes, but first, no, 21 is not the lowest score we've ever had on 15 to 1. Some years ago, in the days before we brought the lives left over from round 2 into the final, we had a winning score of 10, so Mark's score was double that. Now, on to our Senior Citizens Board. Earlier this year, you will remember that a letter I received about a lady called Hilda Strip, who I thought at 96 years of age could easily be our oldest regular viewer, prompted others to lay claim to that title. We then introduced a special Senior Citizens Board, with Hilda, as she started it all, at number 15, and we only accepted entrants above 96. Well, this is how the board stood at the end of the last series. But through the summer, we've had lots of letters from sponsors of prospective candidates, and this is how the board now stands. The new entrants, in reverse order, as they used to say in beauty contests, are John Clark from Adlington in Cheshire, Ernest Jones from Storth in Cumberland, and Miss Millicent Buller from Uton in Devon, who are all 100, Miss Eva Blanche Lamb from Yeovil, and Annie Lloyd from Portsmouth, both 101, Mrs. Mabel Cook from Gwynedd in North Wales, 102, Mrs. Ethel Diamond from Paynton in Devon, and Jack Davis from Eastbourne, both 103, and at the top, Miss Anne Coleman from Cheltenham, who is 108. Mrs. Leonora Haig, who wrote to us about Anne, tells us that at 100 years of age, she went up in an air balloon. At 104, she went for a helicopter flight. And at 105, had a trip on Concorde, paid a visit to the House of Commons, and was entertained by the Speaker. Well, what can I say? We'll update the board from time to time, but I'd be very surprised to see Anne dislodged from her top spot. As an observation, all those 15 people were born when Queen Victoria was on the throne. And if there is a message to all this, it could be, stay young with 15 to 1. And finally, if you'd like a go at 15 to 1, here's the address to write to, 15 to 1, Auditions, PO Box 273, London, SW15 1HE. And remember, postcards only, please. And if anyone on that Senior Citizens Board would like a go, we'll hear from you as well. We'll be back on Monday. See you then.